Ooh, welcome back. Another edition. Do a little live thing here. I like to do these because it pumps it out really quickly. But man, it's a tough game. Tough last couple games. You felt like the Hawks really had a chance there. Really had a chance there in Atlanta in game 4 to put some pressure on the Knicks. Didn't do it. Got some tough calls or maybe early there and just but they got blown out, right? Same thing in game 5. Some early fouls like the Kuminga jumper is a bad shot to begin with against Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson definitely fouled him. There was a play with Nickeil Alexander-Walker where he's going. Josh Hart clearly kind of pushes him with two hands. CJ is kind of snake dribbling across the lane, and then he gets kind of tripped up. So all these things are happening. Tough. When you're not getting calls and you're not making shots, it's a bad recipe. And I don't know. Maybe the ceiling was 2 games. I felt like I felt like coming into the series, the Hawks, of course, should have got the 5 seed to play the Cavs. That's number 1. But the 2 teams I felt like in the East that could really give the Hawks trouble were the Celtics just because of their skill and their ability. Shout out to the Sixers for making that a series. And the Knicks. The Knicks have the height. They have obviously Brunson is one of the best clutch players in the game, but I really felt like Towns and Mitchell Robinson were going to wreak havoc against the Hawks, especially with Jock Landale's injury. Again, I think that should be a bigger deal, right? Bukotsky, I say his name right down there, the Magic. Like, how is he not? There's got to be a larger fine having a guy be injured and affecting a team's performance in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, I think ultimately we've struggled here. I want to go through a couple things. I think first, I thought Quinn's rotations made no sense last night. And I hate to do that like the first thing off the bat, right? But the 6-minute mark, I think the Hawks were down 4 or 5. Took Daniel Dyson out to bring in Gabe Vincent. And I was like, okay. Like this is game 5, right? So done the feel out, it's 2-2. You have a 3-game series. And to me, rotations, minutes, that's all thrown out the window. I mean, I assume you're trying to get to like 38 to 42 minutes for most guys. Younger guys, Dyson and JJ, Nickeil, I feel like they can play 42 to 45 minutes. Why are they coming off of the floor? Like I truly didn't get that. This was not the game or environment where we need to bring in and have rotations and all that stuff like that. We're just playing basketball today. And our top 5, 6 guys, 7 guys are playing. That's it. We're not doing this huge, large bench rotation. We're not like phasing guys in at the 6-minute mark or the 8-minute mark. We're not doing any of that stuff. I did not understand that. I also did not understand a lineup of Gabe Vincent, Daniel Dyson, or Dyson Daniels, Bradley. I think it was then Kuminga and Nickeil, I think was the lineup. And I was like, how are they scoring? Nickeil has struggled the whole series. And that's the difference. And I'm going to get to that. Actually, let me wait to get to that. But I was like, how are they scoring? Bradley continuing to be on the floor in the third quarter came. I think they got it to like 14, maybe 12. I think the closest was like 14. In the third. I was like, okay, a little pressure. Bradley comes in the game. Immediately, Cat goes right at him. I mean, he just, unfortunately, right, has not played basketball in like 60, 70 days, but also just is not equipped for the series. Again, if we were playing the Cavs or the Raptors, Bradley can probably play in that series. He cannot play against the Knicks. I don't know what else Quinn needs to see to make that determination. But Mo Guy has to be the guy if you're gonna if you want a little bit of a little bit of size and try to rebound. If they're getting some offensive rebounds, they're getting some offensive rebounds. I think you live with that, and then you hope you've got to gang rebound. It just has to happen. And I'm not sure. And again, you can't be on one side this tall, athletic guard group and then not able to gang rebound. I don't understand that, to be honest with you. And yeah, that's not what lost the game. I think what lost the game is just the activity. I thought the Knicks just played harder and got more 50-50 balls, obviously made shots. The Hawks have not made shots in 2 games. But the rotations did not help. I just feel like when you've got guys out there that, again, no offense to Bradley, right? You're coming into almost like an impossible situation. He's got no chemistry with the guys. He can't guard on the other side. They're just going right at him. I didn't love the Kispert minutes. I'm a big Kispert guy. I think he is a good basketball player, but this is just not the series for him. Buddy Hield last year had 37 points in a game 7 against the Rockets. I feel like this is probably more his series, right? Especially if you're needing 6. If you're trying to get to that 6 to 8 minute mark to give a couple guys a blow, so they're at that 42 mark. I feel like Buddy Hield should get those 6 to 8 minutes instead of Kispert. Just feel like athletically he can stay in front of Alvarado. And again, great adjustment by Mike Brown before. And again, goes to Quinn just kind of doing rotations. Brunson was off during Kispert minutes, and then second half he's like, no, Brunson's going to be on during these Kispert minutes, and we're going to hunt him. Alvarado also hunted him. And yeah, I just feel like he's also 0 for 6 in the series. If you're not going to shoot it with any, success, then there's really no reason for him to be on the floor. The top 7 has to be obviously the starters: Kuminga, Mo Guy, and then to me it's probably Buddy Hield. If Landale can play on Thursday, amazing. I'm not holding my breath there. It's unfortunate that he's injured. So those would be my 8. And I would rotate them in. I'm just rocking with those starters. Let's do Kuminga. I love Kuminga's activity. The dunk is insane. That's the thing that keeps you really salivating with him is there is an athleticism to him that is unbelievable. But you also see the rawness of him, right? Where he, I think he's 0 for his last 10 from the 3. I think that's correct. 0 for 11, something like that. Over the last couple of games, I don't think he's hit a 3 since game 3. So streaky shooter. I think too, just a ball stopper, right? I thought multiple times the offense just kind of stopped when he caught the ball. I didn't mind him attacking Brunson on the fadeaway that he hits, but also it took him, he caught it, waited, then kind of slow dribbled. I think he took 4 or 5 dribbles and got to that move. It just bogs the offense down. He took a side step 2 from the other corner, which is one, it's a tough shot, but also a bad shot. You could probably get a better shot there. And I thought, I just felt like which is great to have the activity that Kuminga had. But again, if you're going to be a ball stopper, you're going to take these mid-range jumpers. It's just not, I think what you're kind of hoping for there. So, I think, right. I think you've got to play him, but I think how much is going to be interesting in game 6, right? If you're really trying to win it, I think you can tell early on if you're going to have a good Kuminga game or bad Kuminga game. And I watched a lot of Warriors games because the Warriors are kind of Steph is my favorite player to watch, so I watch a lot of Warriors games. You can tell early on if it's going to be a good one or a bad one. And I could tell early on he was forcing it. He was trying to get, which is great. I wish Jalen Johnson had maybe that same vigor of trying to like take the game by the reins there and take the game over. Um, but tough when he's coming down and doing some of that stuff, right? It just bogs the offense down. Let's get to that. I don't think this series is like a referendum on Jalen Johnson. I think the series is a reminder that it is really hard to be a number one option in the playoffs. I think it is a reminder that he is super young and that he is still trying to find himself as like as a everything that he is, right? He's a jack of all trades. I like to say he floats. And it's good and it's also a little bad. In the regular season, it's rarely bad because I think you can float throughout a game and be so impactful, right? But it's also the regular season, and there's just a different energy there. It's 82 games, long season. The playoffs are so different. Every possession is magnified, every movement is magnified, and if you continue to float, you just kind of like he had 14 points in the half. He was the best player the Hawks had yesterday in game 5. And I was like, he has 14 points. Like I was genuinely shocked. And that's the tough thing about being a guy with that much skill, that much ability, can do so many things on the court, but you can do it in a floating manner. And I did think I something that we didn't see in the first 4 games. I thought his activity level was better. I thought his he was coming back to rebound. He was coming back to help defensively. We didn't see those things in the first 4 games. It still wasn't at the activity level that I think you hope that your best player has, but I thought it was still better. Again, the thing that we're seeing, and now I'll make this a broader thing, is there is regular season scoring, as we already knew. And this is what one of my things coming into the series is the Knicks have Brunson, right, who is one of the best clutch scorers, regular season, postseason, that the game has. The Hawks, without Trey, no longer have that guy that you just can know, hey, big moment. In big moment doesn't always mean like 1 minute left in the fourth quarter. Big moment could be, hey, they are on an 8-0 run. We need a bucket, or we need to get to the free throw line. And there's not, we don't have traditional point guards anymore. And because of that, because there's not traditional point guards, you're just kind of, which is great. You're kind of just running your offense, or you're trying to get to the break or the secondary break, which is great. But there's also this like flow to the game that you have to understand. And I think young teams have to get it, right? And when you have, the Knicks go on like an 8-9-0 run, someone's got to be able to come down. And I thought it'd be CJ, and I think he's been bad the last 2 games, and I don't know what that is, or just is he tired, or activity level has been different, whatever the case may be from the Knicks end. But you've got to understand how to come down and either call your number or get to some action that you feel is going to be beneficial to the team. The unfortunate part right now with the Hawks is we don't really have that. I think CJ is probably the best at going and getting his shot, but you've got to have just the ability to calm the nerves, calm a run. It's a game. Basketball is a game of runs. And the last 2 games have really exposed that for the Hawks. They have not been able to calm those and really combat what the Knicks have thrown some jabs. They've thrown a few uppercuts, a couple combos, and we've just kind of walked back to the corner a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Again, I think if Quinn closes the rotation, this is also what I would do, right? Bradley cannot play. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I know you USC guy. I'm sorry. I said this going into the playoffs, and I'm going to say it again now. make Cat a scorer. Keep Oneka on him. Have Jalen Johnson on Josh Hart so you can then help. The only person you should be helping off of Josh Hart, right? Maybe Bridges, maybe he hasn't shot it well, but I wouldn't want him to kind of get it going. So everybody else you stay home on. And if Towns is going to catch the ball at the top of the key or on the wing, and they're going to run, like back screens using him as the passer because he's so tall and can see over everybody, and he's a good passer. Great. It's very smart by Mike Brown. But what I would do is we're going to switch these, like, we're going to switch these picks, right? Make it easy. I don't know why we're trying to like fight over. I get why you're trying to fight over because you want, like, especially with Brunson, like setting the screen, you want to stay connected to Brunson. I get that, but like switch the pick, right? Switch the pick, and if you got to, switch back or whatever, like there's so many things you can do. But make Cat score 50. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he's gonna take Oneka 1-on-1, okay, hey man, don't reach, stay in front, keep your hands up. He's got a little height advantage. Make him shoot over you. If he makes it, great. I think Cat's one of those guys that, like, and he hasn't done it as much in this series, but like he'll bowl over you, he'll get an offensive foul, he'll turn the ball over. Like, just make him score. And I think he's one of the more talented big men in the game, but I still think I would rather have him have the ball at the top of the key and then forced to make a scoring decision with less than 10 seconds on the clock than him helping them get into their offense by like hitting a cutter or dribble handoff to Brunson and then doing a pick and roll or whatever. I'd rather have Towns trying to make that decision than him being that facilitator or being able to like pump fake you, get you moving because you're thinking about other stuff. Like, don't think about anything else. Just guard Cat. Make him shoot over you. If he hits it, great. If he doesn't, let's rebound, let's get out. That's what I would do if I'm the Hawks, right? And then obviously you just got to score. They've had good looks. They've just missed. They've all been a little bit of lemon booty, as they say. A little bit of lemon booty. It's all good, though. We'll see. We'll see what State Farm's rocking in Game 6. Hopefully the Hawks may come back. If you didn't see, we had the Arena Founders on. We recorded it last week. We dropped it a couple days ago, so check that episode out. Check out all of our past episodes at the Seed Talk Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Continue to follow us on all of our social accounts, the Seed Talk Podcast across, and then follow me at SteveMac, Threads, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, all the things. So continue to rate, subscribe, and we will see you on the next edition of the Seed Talk Podcast.